Welcome to the Pride Collection.
Hello, I'm Ali. This is Ellia. We're here for Pride Kids, and we're just gonna talk about like me being Ellia's dad and Ellia, coming out as a lesbian. So yeah, like you came out earlier on this year, didn't you? And like you're 11 at the moment, aren't you?
Yes.
And how did you come out to me?
I literally just told you that I had a girlfriend.
That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
And then a few days later you said that we were going to Pride and I said, oh, maybe I'll have my lesbian flag by then.
Yeah. So it was honestly, it was just really straightforward. Ellia's had boyfriends in the past,
Boyfriend.
Oh, boyfriend, okay, but because being so young, it's never anything that you think, oh, this is serious. It's not like that, right? And so then when she was
I don't even know how I ended up dating him.
These things happen.
I just remember one day I didn't even know him. Then the next day we were dating.
Guy's got skills. But yeah, so it was you did it in a group chat, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you did it in a group chat, and which made me then ask one of our mutual best friends, hey, and she was like, oh yeah, I've gotten the lesbian vibe off of Ellia for a while now, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So they honestly really straightforward, not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And from my point of view, when Ellia came out as a lesbian, I was like, sense of relief, because now I ain't got to deal with boys. You know what I mean? Best thing that could happen to me. Okay, there you go.
Well, you're welcome.
I'm just going to talk for a little bit, so yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm just gonna talk about my perspective as a parent, as Ellia's dad to her coming out. One of the things I've already said is when Ellia came out as a lesbian, for me it was it wasn't really anything at all, I did genuinely feel a sense of relief because now she hasn't got to deal with boys, which, I'm not saying girls are perfect, but, from my point of view, and you can call it sexist if you want, I think boys are, harder to deal with. So
agreeable.
Yeah, it's just boys want to win at everything. Girls are more agreeable. So not having to deal with that is good. But it was kind of interesting because when Ellia came out, you see, this is the thing. Society has its standard positions for things, right? And one of those standard positions is for people to be heterosexual, right? And over the last few years, there's been a lot of awareness raised for LGBTQ plus, where things aren't, as a standard approach that society is used to, I guess. But it's there nonetheless, So it's one of those things that when this information is brought to you, one of the things that I think is really important is that you can't assume that just because something is more standardized doesn't mean that applies to everything. So you shouldn't have any adverse reaction yourself, because at the end of the day, All of these things are kind of going on whether you like it or not, you know. And if you don't like it, you have to ask yourself why. What is it that's the problem, you know? Are you attaching other stories to it? So one of the things that you have to do is you have to detach that, you know. It's like, because Ellia has come out to me as a lesbian, does that mean that now my daughter is fundamentally a different person? It's like, no, right?
Yeah.
Like, it literally doesn't make any difference to her as a person. It doesn't make any difference to her as a human being, right? All it changes is a particular one scenario of the sort of person that should be hanging about in that particular situation, and that's it, you know. So if you have people like, you know, who are, you know, coming out or stuff like that, what you've got to remember is that it doesn't necessarily change any other single thing about them. Like, and I think this is one of the things that's really like, it, you know, it's the stereotypes that, you know, are both reinforced and expected, is when people go, oh, I'm now this, and then people go, oh, so you're now going to completely change your behaviour and change as a person. And it's like, no, not necessarily. I mean, people do change over time, and people should be allowed to express themselves, right? But, you know, like, the fundamental person of who they are, and if you've known someone, if you've raised a child, and you've known that child for years, and then that child like wishes to express in a certain way, that doesn't mean that anything else has changed. And that's one of the things that I would say is, like, you know, one of the biggest tips for all of this sort of thing is don't change anything yourself. Because someone else has come out to you doesn't mean that you have to change in any way, shape or form. As long as you're not hateful. If you are hateful, then you do need to change, and you need to learn why, like, or rather not why, but how to not be hateful, because that's not going to help anything. One of the little things that did happen was I mentioned it to a few people, right? And the reaction was really interesting. The reaction from people was like, how old is she? And I was like, 11. And they're like, oh, that's young. What? Yeah, what's that got to do with it? When I was 11, myself, right? When I was 11, I knew what my sexuality was, right? And no, it's not gay for all you funny people, right? Some of your mates think I'm gay, right?
Yeah.
I know. I think that's well funny, right? Like, I mean, people can think I'm gay if they want. I don't care. I literally don't care. I like whatever, right?
All of my friends think you're gay.
That is so funny.
Especially from one picture of you.
Okay.
One picture.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, you've got a gaydar, haven't you?
Yeah.
You don't think I'm gay, do you?
No.
Okay, cool. I mean, I do like wearing bracelets, which seems like a lot of heterosexual men are like, oh, he wears bracelets. But anyway, we're getting distracted. I get this happens to me a lot. But when I was 11, I knew what my sexuality was, right? So one of the things here is don't treat your child as if they're stupid or ignorant. Like, allow your child to know their own mind. And if they come out to you, you know, like, respect that. Because think about you when you were their age. Yes, you may not have experienced all of the things, but at the end of the day, even now as an adult, have you experienced that much of the world? Most people haven't. So this whole thing of like, oh, 11-year-old, that's a bit young. No, it's a nonsense. If a child expresses something, let them express it. They may change their mind, or they may have different experiences in the future. But right now, respect the present and respect their emotions. Okay, so the next segment is we're going to offer it over to Ellia.
Yeah.
And she's going to just give a bit of advice, people in her position. Ellia?
Hello. Wait.
Make sure you speak up.
Yeah. Like, when I told Dad that I had a girlfriend, like, I already knew that I liked girls from about year 4, but I was kind
How
of like,
old would you have been in year 4? What's that? 8 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to help the audience if they're not fully sure.
Yeah, about 8 years old or something like that. Like, I knew I liked girls, but I was kind of like, I like girls, but boys, maybe you, maybe. So, and I was literally, I was like that for about 3 years. How long? No, not 3 years. 2 years. Yeah,
Well, it's 2 to 3.
2 to 3 years. And like when when I told Dad, I was like, okay. That's all I can really think. Just okay.
Just okay.
Okay.
But is that because you already felt safe?
Like, yeah, I guess.
Like, you know, I mean, were you worried about coming out?
I was a bit worried.
Why? What made you feel worried?
I don't even know.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't even know.
Like, honestly, that's okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So what would you say to other kids, like, you know, in your position?
Like, just don't be all like, just like, I forgot what. Like,
How would you approach? What would you say to other kids to how to approach their parents, for example?
like, just like don't make a huge deal about it.
Yeah.
Because like you know,
Just
like,
be as it is, right?
yeah.
Don't make a big deal out of it. Just, you know. What, like, how did you tell me again?
I've got a girlfriend.
Cool.
That's
So you
it.
didn't even explicitly say, I am a lesbian or I am gay
Yeah.
or anything like that. You just said, I've got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I said.
And yeah, exactly. So, you know, you didn't
I
like.
didn't even say it. I texted it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. You texted it like low key,
Yeah.
not a big deal. You know, minimise the drama, right?
And literally with Mum, I literally, like, she was half asleep because, like, I saw that she just woke up and I was like, all right, I'm about to leave for school. Mum, I've got a girlfriend.
See ya.
Yeah, literally, I just left. Yeah.
And what about your friends? You've got like a
Friends.
whole
Yeah,
group of friends, haven't you?
literally at school we are the gay group. Like I'm pretty sure we are the biggest gay group in school. Like how many? There are 7 of us, and we're all gay.
Oh. But that's really cool because, like, you know, you've got like a, you know, a peer group where you guys are basically, you know, safe with each other.
Yeah.
You know, but other kids are okay as well outside of that group. I mean, like, how is it outside of that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
There you go. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a really good thing because the thing is, though, is there's a lot of, especially at schools, there's a lot of like casual, like discrimination and bullying, isn't there?
Mm.
But because you've got like a group, a safe group of people to go to, you know, that's like potentially like an important thing, you know, to establish,
Yeah.
so that even if that, you know, the casual bullying comes up, or worse than casual bullying, you've got like a core group of people that can, you know, support you, be there for you, so that, you know.
Like one of my friends is really intimidating, so I'm pretty sure, like, none of us have actually been bullied because she's so intimidating.
You have a protector.
Literally, like, she is so intimidating that, like, most people don't want to go, like, don't really want to go near her if she's
Okay,
annoyed.
so there you go. There's a great tip. Get a bodyguard.
Yeah. Like, get a very intimidating friend.
Oh, bless you. Okay, well,
Yeah.
cool. In this segment, we're going to talk a bit about, like, the emotions and stuff like that, and, you know, things that we felt during this, right? So, first of all, I just want to say that, as well as, like, reinforcing, like, the relief I felt with the fact that Ellie is now going out with girls and not boys, right? Which is, like, I bet there's loads of dads out there that can relate to this. Like, oh, your daughter just feels a bit safer, right? the other thing as well, like apart from a sense of relief, is like I've just felt like immense pride in my daughter in how she's handled this. You know, she's been really calm. She's been really matter of fact. You know, she's like not had, like I said, there's not really been like anything different whatsoever, and she's just handled everything so well, you know, and made everything as like matter of fact and just real calm and normal, you know, and acted like there's nothing wrong, because guess what? There's nothing wrong. And that's the real key thing, you know, for me. Like, so many people, like, they behave in certain ways because they think that something's wrong, or they think that other people are going to think something's wrong, which I do understand. But the easiest way to get over that is to not act like something's wrong, you know, and just be able to, you know, like act, you know, like everything's normal, and then that will help you be happier, you know. I mean, how have you felt during this whole situation? Like, obviously you coming out a few months ago to like now, what would you say you felt generally? Okay, so have you felt embarrassed?
No.
Good.
I don't feel like anything's changed.
Right. Because that's what I'm saying, like, nothing has really changed, has it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've just basically said, yeah, I'm this way inclined. That's all, you know? And, like, that's what I mean. Like, nothing actually has changed. And it's just like, you know, it's really cool to just, like, own that. And, like, from my perspective, one of the things that, you know, I've done is, like I said, I know that, like, a lot of society can be reactionary, you know? So I've made sure that, like, you know, I've made a stance that my daughter is aware of. Like, for example, like, I got these coloured bands, right? And I got them in the rainbow, right? So it's just like a little way of signalling, like, my support, you know, for my daughter.
When you got them, you forgot the blue though.
Yeah, I forgot the blue. I do forget things. I'm not perfect. I'm close, but I'm not, right? And you know, it's stuff like that, you know, like as soon as possible after Ellia came out, you know, there was a Pride like festival thing in the summer, which, you know, I was like, right, let's go to that, you know. Ellia got like a lesbian flag, and, you know, and it was just that whole thing of just
using it, and you were like,
yeah, it was raining in the middle of like July, so we're like ducking under it.
We were ducking under it.
We had face paint on, whatever. You were ducking under a little bit.
A bit.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway.
And yeah, it's just, you know, like, I've just felt like nothing but pride for how Ellia like handles stuff, you know, nice and calm, and, you know, you haven't felt anything particularly different, have you? So
No.
and I think that's one of the biggest things that I would say, like Ellia was trying to say, don't make a big deal out of it, and I would say the same, you know. The parents don't make a big deal out of it, and, you know, what is there to react to? Like, at the end of the day, it's like there's nothing to react to, you know. Yeah, just like everybody's still the same, you know, and yeah, like there's no point making a fuss.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like we're saying the same thing over and over, but, you know, like, honestly, like, why would this be so important when there's so many other aspects to people? You know, there's so many other things that make up a person's personality, make up a person's, like, experience, makes up a person's, like, value and contribution, you know, and there's so many other aspects to what people, you know, can love about people. Now, this is just like a tiny part of it, you know. Yeah, and, you know, so I get that some people may not feel as calm or as confident in this position. So, you know, if people have got like questions or comments to make, or there are things that they're uncertain about, you know, then feel free to, like, you know, like, leave questions and you know, like, get involved and find out. you know, because if you haven't got a support group, then it may be worth reaching out to try and make one, you know. I think support groups can be one of those things that are actually really important to help you realise that, like, A, it's okay, and B, you're not alone, you know. But yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty boring, I'm afraid. Sorry to say that, but you know, that's because we have fun doing other things, like Halloween fancy dress. Yeah. Okay, so final part. Okay, we'll just basically summarise what we've been talking about. And the main thing I would say, the key thing, right, is don't make a big fuss, both for the kids and the parents. You know, like at the end of the day, like all of this stuff is just like expression, and there's nothing wrong. So, you know, just like communicate and don't assume. Okay, listen to what's actually being said. Don't add things that aren't there. Don't make a fuss. Just listen and love and go, okay, and realize that nothing has actually changed. I would say, you know, like we have quite the reason this story probably sounds quite pedestrian is because me and Ellia have had like a really like close relationship all our life, right? And so, you know, none of this stuff, like, yeah, Ellia like comes out and I'm like, oh, okay, and then nothing changes, and we're still like, you know, a pair of idiots together. But if you know, like if you want to share like your experiences and your stories, then please do, like, you know, in the comments, like, you know, if you feel like there's something that you want to talk about, you know, whether it's difficulties or whether it's like a really wonderful loving story, like by all means, you know, because you may be able to reach out and, you know, gain some support, gain some friends, gain some perspective, you know. And yeah, like at the end of the day, like, you know, your family, like, are people that, you know, you're going to be around, and, you know, you should like learn to like love them and learn for them for who they are, you know, without having to like hide bits or, you know, expect them to hide bits. You know, we should be allowed to express ourselves, you know, without harming people. And yeah, so also please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, because let's spread, you know, some like love and stuff, good stuff, positive vibes, you know. And yeah, like I think we're golden, aren't we? I think we've said what we need to say. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, peace.
Bye.
Have a good time.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos. And remember, turn up the gay, 'cause we're here to stay.